My name is Katie Huter. I'm a 2015 graduate of Ohio State University College of Veterinary Medicine. I have a background in mathematics, actually. I taught high school math for 5 years before switching careers and becoming a veterinarian. And I work primarily in companion animal medicine, so general practice. I think the most important thing that any student needs to know about companion animal medicine is that it is varied. I happen to be working in a practice where we do a lot of surgery and we do a lot of rescue work. So there's a wide variety of things that wind up coming into the clinic. We don't just see puppies and kitties for vaccines. We see a whole wide range of things. In my short time as a veterinarian, I've done limb amputations, I've done orthopedic surgeries, I've seen weird things that we wind up needing to send to the specialist because it's way beyond what I know how to deal with. But because of the fact that it is such a varied pool of animals coming in, you wind up seeing a whole variety of different things. Every day is a little different. One of the things that has been most unexpected for me in terms of becoming a veterinarian is just how different you feel about your confidence level as a veterinarian. One day I'll be at work and I'm like, I'm the best, I'm amazing, I know everything. And then literally the next day you're sitting there feeling like a complete imposter going, I don't know anything, I have no idea what to do here. And that is going to be something that you have to learn how to deal with, those days where you feel like an imposter, because it can be hard to deal with those things. But at the same time, those days where you have that, where you're like, I'm on it, I know everything, this is great, this is rolling well. So I guess it's being prepared for the unexpected is really a hard part of adjusting to being a veterinarian. What I find most rewarding about being a companion animal veterinarian is simply the relationships that I get to build with my clients and the bond that I get with them. I really have developed quite strong bonds with some of my clients as well as their pets, where I have some patients that they tell their dog they're going to go see Dr. Katie and their dog just goes bonkers. So a couple of my clients joke and they refer to me as their dog's girlfriend. But that kind of relationship that you get to have in a small animal general practice setting, where you get to know them through all of the little illnesses and all the phone calls. Had I chosen to do something like a specialty, I may not have that longevity of relationship, being able to really delve into that and getting to know my patients as well as I know them. A typical day for me at my practice is that I show up around 8:30. We don't have an official set time, but usually I show up around then. I prepare my surgery reports for the day in terms of getting my anesthesia protocol set. Then I see appointments between 9 a.m. and around 11 or so, and then I start into my procedure time, and that lasts from 11 till 3:30. In that time frame, we do any procedures that need to be done, whether it be surgeries, dental cleanings, sedations for this or that, x-rays, whatever needed to get done, and then whatever time you have left over, you get for lunch. Sometimes you get an hour, sometimes you get 2 hours, sometimes you get nothing. So it just varies, and then I see appointments again from 3:30 until 7. I happen to really love surgery, and it's worked out really nicely at my practice that pretty much every single day that I work, I get to do surgery, which kind of fulfills that need for me to do that. I know several of my veterinary friends work at practices where they have their surgery day rather than every day they do surgery, and I don't know if I'd be happy at a practice like that. So it's nice that I'm where I'm at and I get to have that need fulfilled for me. But I also have friends who don't like surgery at all and they hate it. So for them, they love only having to do it once a week. I think some of the challenges that people might encounter when pursuing veterinary medicine in general is just simply making sure that you're up to the challenge of it. Going through vet school is difficult and it is time consuming, and you have to be able to have a good support system to be able to get you through that, whether it be your classmates, your friends, your family. But you do need to have a good support system to get through this, and you do need to be able to rely on the help that people give you. I think specifically for companion animal medicine, one of the hardest things is making sure you're finding a mentor to help guide you, somebody that you really click with. When I look at my friends from vet school and their first jobs right out of school, maybe they didn't find the right fit for them, but you have to understand that you may not find the right fit like I did right out of school, and you may need to go and find another job at some point in time and be okay with it and not look at it as a failure. Mentors have impacted my career by shaping who I am as a veterinarian and how I practice. Dr. Dice was one of my mentors while I was here, and he stressed without a doubt that patient care came number one and client care was right up there number two. And so as a practitioner, that is my focus all the time. My number one goal is always my patient's care, making sure that they are well cared for and making sure that my clients are as happy as I can make them. And so he has guided that because of his standards that he set while we were practicing with him. My current boss, he is amazing at his relationships that he's built with the staff and with our clients as well, and he's created a very warm, open environment in which I practice at. And being able to have that environment where you feel like you can make mistakes, you can go ahead and not be perfect all of the time, but it's okay because somebody's going to have your back at all steps. That has been instrumental in making me the veterinarian that I am today. I'd say the thing that I like least about my job is the fact that I can't fix everything. It's actually really difficult to deal with that because you do want, as a veterinarian, to fix everything. I want to save every animal. I want to come up with a solution for every problem. I want to be able to give my clients a diagnosis and tell them this is what's wrong with your pet and this is how I fix it. And I have to sometimes adjust to the fact that I can't do that. I can't get answers all the time, and I can't save every animal. And the worst ones are the ones where you actually know what's wrong, you know how to fix it, and the client can't afford it. And you have to deal with that as well. So it does take a mental toll on you a lot in terms of just trying to figure out if I can't get a solution through doing part A, how do I do treatment plan B? How do I, coming up with all these different possibilities of ways to still help an animal but not break their budget and make it so that it's workable for them. I would say a barrier that I faced in becoming a veterinarian was simply having to make the decision to go back to school to do it. I was not a traditional student in any regards. I didn't go to vet school right out of undergrad. I went and became a teacher for 5 years. So having to change my focus that way, being able to have to learn all of the science that I hadn't learned originally, and be able to have the fortitude to make it through that, and decide that even though I was putting basically my life on hold for 7 years, because 3 years to get back to school, to get in, and 4 years of vet school, that right there, just being able to, I think more than anything, was the mental hurdle to decide that this is what I wanted to do, this is what I was going to do. And even though it was going to take me 7 years, and that's if I got in on the first try, which I did, it was still going to be a big change for my life, but it was going to be worth it in the end. That are present in my role as a small animal general practitioner is going to be the day-to-day fatigue of having to make a million decisions every single day, where literally you walk in the building, you don't even have time to put your stuff down, and somebody's coming to you saying, hey, we have a problem and you need to fix it because you are the doctor. And that is every day where you have to fix the problems and be able to come up with solutions every single time. That is fatiguing to you. Also, simply the stress of the fact that you are dealing with another life and you are doing everything you can to try to save that life, to help that life, and there are times that you can't. There are times that you can do everything right and something still goes wrong, and you need to be able to cope with that. And sometimes that means you're going to call your friends or your family and you're going to go ahead and have a good cry and Other times if you run, you're gonna go for a run, or if you like to bike, you're gonna go for a bike ride. But you need to have a good support system, and I wound up actually reaching out back to Dr. Brandt, who used to work here as our social worker. I reached out to her at one point and I said, hey, listen, I'm not a student anymore, but I need someone still to talk to. So do you have somebody you can recommend for me, knowing me as well as you do? And she gave me the name of someone she recommended, and I still talk to that person on a regular basis. And it's more of just a mental health check. The way I see it, you go to your doctor to have a physical health check, so why shouldn't you go to your doctor to have a mental health check too? As someone who's looking to be a small animal general practitioner, I would say the career skills you should be looking at while you're in school would be anything that you can in terms of increasing any skill that you're going to need there. So when they have any kinds of additional business management practices, classes, electives, things of that nature, even if you're not going to be a practice owner, still knowing how practices works is going to be important for you to help contribute to the practice that you're at and understand what your value is to the practice and be able to advocate for yourself as your veterinarian at that practice. But also things like, if you know you're going to probably be doing some surgery, doing everything you can just to even help with your skills with that. We do have some, limited amount of time that we are able to do surgery, but any adventures that you can take outside to do maybe a high volume spay neuter, even if you don't want to do spays and neuters all day every day, you don't plan on doing that as a career path. Just simply the transferable skill of having good tissue handling, being faster, being better at your knots, things like that, can be extremely transferable to once you're in the general practice. And listen to the feedback that any of your professors are going to give you. So anytime they have any kind of workshops or things of that nature where you're able to do some, mock interviews with whether it be an interviewing situation or whether it be with a client, take the time to practice those things, because that is going to be beneficial and make you more confident when you enter into the workforce. Beyond a DVM degree, being a small animal general practitioner is going to require you to be physical. So make sure you're taking good care of your body, because the fact that you're not going to be able to just sit around all the time. You're going to have to be standing, walking, moving, lifting. So one of the things, take care of your body and be in reasonable physical shape for it, because it's a lot sometimes in terms of the physicality of the job. Other things that it's going to require is the mental fortitude to be able to accept tough situations and be able to work through those tough situations. So having a really great support system, whether it be friends, family, your therapist, whoever, have people that you can rely on and talk to when you're having a rough situation. Those are going to be essential to get you through every day. Other things that simply you're going to need as a small animal general practitioner is critical thinking skills. So being able to work through a problem, being able to think on your feet, and being able to adjust to changes in your environment, changes to what's going on in your case, and going through those situations.